Welcome to English 220, English Composition and Professional Writing. My name is Jolene Jenkins and I will be your instructor for this course. Today I wanted to go over the course syllabus and highlight some of the most important information that I would like you to remember as we go throughout this course. So first of all, my office hours are posted here on the syllabus, and this syllabus is available on Canvas for you to download, or you can refer to at any point on Canvas. But anyway, my office hours are posted here. These are the times I will be online checking emails, discussion boards, etc. So for example, if you email me on Sunday at 10 o'clock p.m., you can expect to hear from me on Monday sometime between 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock. These I've tried to vary the times so that you can get a hold of me at different times during the day. But if you need to, you can also request individual communication via email. And my email address is right here. If you ever have any questions, please reach out to me and I will try to reply as quickly as possible and answer your questions. All right, as we go through this syllabus, there are the course outcomes and a description of the class. Right here, I want you to see that our required text is the APA manual. If you purchased your books through Ameritech, you should have received an APA manual. If you purchased your books from an outside source, please make sure you purchase an APA manual. This manual will help you not only in this class but in all of your classes. For any written assignments that you'll do throughout your time here at Ameritech, it will be with APA format. And the APA manual is a great resource to help you in your APA format. It's something that I still use constantly. So it is a great resource. Make sure you have it. Also, we use the Learn Library, which is a collection of databases, including ProQuest Health and Medical, Nursing and Allied Health, Family Health, and Health Management. It is available 24/7, and there is also a resource that if you have any questions about specifically the Learn Library or even about research, there is the Learn Librarian that you can contact. Here are general policies. The biggest one for you to be aware of is that plagiarism is a very serious thing, and we will be talking a lot about plagiarism as we go throughout our course, but please just avoid plagiarism at all costs. Okay. A large component of our class is the discussion boards, and here are some of the discussion guidelines. Students are expected to participate in weekly discussions on at least 2 separate days out of 7 in the electronic week. The electronic week begins on Monday at 12:01 a.m. That's when the new week will be uploaded. And it ends on Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Please be aware of this time. If you submit something at 11:58, be aware that sometimes electronically it will take some time and it may come across at midnight, which would then be considered late. There are no makeups allowed, and late submissions are not allowed for the weekly discussions. And so if you need to be away or you will not have computer access at some point in time, you need to contact me as soon as possible in order to make alternative arrangements. But otherwise, there are no makeups for our discussion boards. The discussion boards are an active discussion amongst your peers, and so you really need to be there and actively engaged in order to benefit from those. Also, be aware that Sunday at 11:59, that is the deadline, but I would advise submitting your work by Saturday. If you remember my office hours, I do not have office hours on Sunday. And so if you are submitting something Sunday at 11:30 and you run into a problem or you have a question, I am not available to answer questions at that time. And so you would have to wait until Monday to get an answer, and by then it would be late. So also, Ameritech offices are closed on that day, and technology, our IT people are not available on Sunday. So I would really advise to turn it in before then, but just be aware that that is the absolute deadline. Our participation requirement, you are required to post 2 times each for each discussion board. And so this is kind of how it's done. The initial post, okay, so there will be a prompt, and the initial post is a reply to that prompt. And this must be completed by Wednesday at 11:59. And the reason I'm asking that you do this by Wednesday is so that there will be time to reply to one another before Sunday. So you want to do your initial post by Wednesday, and then sometime between Thursday and Sunday, you want to do a second post, which will be a reply to one of your peers. And so there are some descriptions of what this should look like. If you, for example, see a post that you agree with, don't just say, I agree, or that's a great idea. If you agree or disagree with a post, then say why you agree by supporting your statement with concepts from the reading material or by bringing in a related example or experience. And you want to address questions, and you want to really have an active conversation. And in real life, when we are talking about something, we don't just say, I agree, and leave it at that. When we have a discussion with people, we tend to discuss things. So be sure to really help each other and have a real discussion with each other. Any of my discussion boards or any of the work that we do in this course, I do not like fillers. I don't like fluff. And so I try to post things and prompts that relate to you and will help you to grow as a writer and as a thinker. And so please don't give me filler or fluff. And there is a rubric for the discussion board. This is how you will be graded for each discussion board, and you can look at that here. And if you ever have questions as to why you scored, you can look at the rubric and see where you may have lost points. The next board each week will be a review reflection board. Now, this is a little less formal than the discussion board. This is where you will review concepts learned each week, you'll demonstrate understanding, or you'll reflect on the material that we're learning that week. This is also a place where you can post questions about the weekly material or assignments for clarification. You do not need to reply to your peers on this board. However, if you see that someone has posted a question that you have the answer to, please feel free to respond and answer that question. We are all a team working together, and I would hope that you will help lift each other and answer each other's questions. And for example, if you, as you did the assignment for the week, you came across a trick or something that really made it easier for you, please post that here so that your peers can also have the resources that you have, because I really feel that if we're working together, all of us will be successful. All right, So this is pretty much how the class is broken down. Discussion boards are worth 360 points. That's 30 points a week. And the review reflection boards are 15 points a week, and so that's 195 points. That is a big chunk of your grade. So make sure that you are keeping up on your discussion boards and your review reflection boards. I know if you miss one week, it becomes easier to miss the next week and the next. And then it has that snowball effect where you just find yourself in a hole that's difficult to get out of. Also, we don't have a lot of assignments. So you see here we have these 3 assignments, and then it the only other assignment is your thesis paper, which you'll turn in a first draft for review, and then your final. I don't give exams. I don't have multiple choice tests, but your final is a written essay. And so this is this is your grade in a nutshell. Please be sure to keep up and not fall behind. The final for this course is an essay. So the culminating project in this course is to write a 7-page thesis paper on a healthcare topic of interest. You have a lot of leeway in deciding what your topic will be. It just needs to apply to healthcare in some way. And when I say a 7-page thesis paper, some of you are starting to panic, but that 7-page paper could include your title page, abstract, and reference page. And so really the minimum requirement for the actual essay itself is 4 pages, and the maximum is 7 pages. So if you are a person that writes little, then you can go for the 4 pages. But if you are a person of more words, then perhaps you would want to be leaning more towards the 7-page. But every essay does need to include a title page, abstract, and the reference page. And throughout this course, we will build up towards that final. So, for example, on week 1, we're going to work on topic identification, and then each week we'll be learning different aspects of APA style formatting and just writing skills in general. And hopefully, by the time we get to week 14, your final essay is pretty much written and ready to submit for your final. For attendance, each student must submit a graded component, so that's a discussion board posting or an assignment, at least 2 separate days during the week. If you do not submit a graded component on 2 separate days, you will be considered absent. If you are absent for any 2 weeks during the course, you will be withdrawn from the course. This is very important to remember, that you need to be submitting things each week in order to be in attendance. If you have a planned absence or should an unexpected absence arise, please contact the instructor as soon as possible. For example, I had a student that had pneumonia, but she never contacted me. And so when she was about to be withdrawn from the class, she said, "Hey, I had pneumonia and I have a doctor's note." That would have been nice to know at the time, because this was a few weeks later when she missed another week. And so please contact the instructor as soon as possible with whatever the absence might be. If it's a planned absence, please contact me beforehand. If an emergency arises, at your earliest possible convenience, please contact me and let me know. Also, with grading, you need to be aware, and this is with all of your classes, that the bar is set at 76%. You must achieve a 76% or higher in order to pass the course. If you are one of those people that likes to just do the bare minimum to pass, please be aware that the bare minimum is not 70%. It is at 76%. I would advise to stay as far away from that percentage as possible and aim a little bit higher. We talked a little bit about this, but late work, your discussion boards again cannot be made up and cannot be submitted late. But some of the other assignments, for example, the library assignment, may be turned in late, but there will be a deduction of 10% for late submission. And please just be aware that with late work, it is really a slippery slope, that if you have one late assignment, it just starts to pile up. So really try to get your assignments in on time. If you are having any kind of struggles or concerns, please contact me as soon as possible. I've had students that, were really struggling and waited until the very end of the semester to say that, and then it's really difficult to climb out of that hole. But if you, the minute you feel that you're starting to slide or starting to have problems, contact me. I am really great to work with and help you in any way that I can. And then the rest of the syllabus, this is just an outline of each week of what we will be doing in class. And I would go through and write down all the assignments and just make sure that you are participating each week. If you have any questions at all, please contact me. And again, if you're having any problems or concerns, also contact me. I hope that we'll have a successful class together. I look forward to working with you throughout this semester.